we're already working on this fight. We've got a huge amount of really cool things planned for you. Parts of this platform will actually break off, and you might fall, and if you fall, it's bad. Yeah, so really crazy stuff planned out for this one, and again, this will all be patch 3.3. Now, this is the raid. Something we did in patch 3.2, which we had the Argent Coliseum, the Crusaders Coliseum. We didn't just give you a raid, we gave you a dungeon. Well, we're going to give you dungeons here, too. Oh. Here's awesome concept art of this, by the way. You can see the spire coming up through the middle. That's what the entrance looks like. Oh, and a video preview. I skipped ahead. So as I was saying, Icecrown dungeons, and that is not a mistake, it is S. There are 3 separate wings with 8 bosses. So we have a huge amount of content for people who love doing 5-player content. The one cool thing about it is there's actually an epic quest line that'll take you from one dungeon wing to the next. As a matter of fact, you can't do the 2nd and 3rd wings until you've actually done them in order. That way you get the full story experience as you go through. But after you've done all 3, then you can go back and go into each individual wing and farm items to your heart's content. You will fight alongside Horde and Alliance heroes. Jaina makes an appearance, Sylvanas makes an appearance. And here we have the 2D layout for these 3 dungeon wings. Let you check out this for a second. And we have a preview. So now we're going to move on to some Cataclysm raids. Corey was showing you the 5-player dungeons before. So this is an interesting shot. If some of you did vanilla WoW, you might recognize what this is. This is Nefarian's room, except there's one little thing that's different about that, and that's that portal. That portal back there? It's another raid.
Oh, awesome.
So since we have flying in Azeroth, we have a raid. To get to it, you'll actually fly up into Nefarian's lair and enter in from the dungeon from there. Always thought that was a cool thing. So we're calling it Blackwing Descent, and Nefarian will be returning. But it's an entirely new raid inspired by the original Blackwing lair. New art, new loot, new creatures. And also you might see some old friends as well. But here's the layout for it. So you can see at the very bottom, that's Nefarian's old room. And you come in and you have this circular pathway with all the rooms, boss rooms around that. Now we're going to go into another Cataclysm raid. It's called the Firelands. Again, a 1025 flare rate, and this is the elemental plane of fire. If you've been to previous panels, you've heard talk about Ragnaros is attacking Hyjal from the elemental plane of fire. Well, you'll actually take the fight to him here. It's an exterior raid zone, which we're sort of excited about. And as mentioned, it's the home of Ragnaros, the Lord of Fire. And this is the time you can actually fight Ragnaros at his full strength because he's in the elemental plane of fire. This is his home. You will take the fight to him. And here's the layout. So you see this is an exterior area. There's a boss that's wandering around. There's bosses near lava lakes. And the big thing at the back would be Sulfuron Keep, which is where Ragnaros maintains his fortress. And here we have some more awesome pieces of art, concept art for this. These are the kind of things you'll see outside in the Firelands. And here we have some, this is concept art for what Sulfuron Keep will look like. So now I'm going to turn this back over to Corey, because we've got even more things to tell you.
I think there's one more shot here. Yeah, here's a shot of the keep. This is where you're actually going to fight Ragnaros. So, Onyxia 5th anniversary. So this is something we're planning to do to celebrate WoW's 5th anniversary. We don't have the exact date. This is going to come out sometime around November. We're still figuring out the date, but it's definitely coming. And what we've done here is gone back to Onyxia, brought her back, but we brought her up to level 80. So she's ready to go to fight people that are, that are max level right now in the game that want to go back. And for us, this was a chance. We didn't want to bring this back necessarily as, as something that we thought, you're going to go in here and do this as a part of progression. This is something that we really thought that she was a key figure in World of Warcraft lore. For a lot of people, this is the first raid boss they ever fought against. And what better thing to do on an anniversary than bring back a fight like this and bring it back up to current times. So there's a few new mechanics here. I mean, it's still going to feel like the Onyxia fight. We didn't go in and, change things massively, but there's definitely new mechanics. She's got maybe a couple new spells, a couple new things, but it's definitely going to feel like the Onyxia fight that you're used to.
There's still many whelps.
Yeah. You're definitely going to need more dots, for sure. Now, the most important part about this, probably to you guys, is the new and updated loot. So she's got an entirely new loot table, but the loot table is all based off of her original stuff. So you're going to be able to get all the tier 2 helms. They're all going to be here with their original art, but all the stats have been updated to support the current level of itemization that we have in the game. We've also, not only are the tier 2 helms updated, but also the weapons, necklaces, things like Viscag. Even better, you're still going to be able to get Quell Sarar here, and there's a new version that you'll be able to get from her. And of course, don't want to forget, we've added just a little bit more deep breath randomization. Try not to stand so close together, maybe, I don't know. So here's a great shot. This is one of the coolest things you're going to get from Onyxia. This is a flying mount. And so this is an epic flying mount, and it's going to be a very rare drop. You definitely have a chance to get it, but it's pretty rare. And kind of the concept here is this is not necessarily modeled after her, but this is one of her broods, kind of in that middle phase. And you'll be able to ride her as an epic flying mount throughout anywhere in Azeroth, especially with Cataclysm coming. You could see this guy flying over the Barrens, who knows. So here's a couple shots of some of the loot. This is original loot. Helm of Wrath and the Judgment Crown off original Onyxia. You can see it's got still the full 8-piece sets on it. You can see the stats. It's a sweet 40 stamina here in this Helm of Wrath. And then this is a look at the new loot. So now we're up to 182 stamina. Helm of Wrath here, and then the Judgment Crown. You can see they've been updated to support all the current stats. They've got slots for gems. Everything's ready to go. And in some cases, we've also took the loot and made new loot to support, now that we have specs, we've got to support all the specs. So here's the Judgment Crown, broken up into 3 different versions to support all 3 different specs. And we've done this for all the loot, so everyone can have something that fits their spec. So now here's a shot of a couple weapons that are going to be dropping off in Ixia. Now these are the original. The Obsidian Edge Blade dropped in Molten Core, but we've taken some of that loot and put it on Ixia here to fill out her tables. Because originally she only had 2 weapons that she dropped. So